Greetings from Devon. Today is day 22 and it's called Before Your Very Eyes. Before I read the book though, there's a bit more of the story from yesterday with the guy on the plane. So I said that he wasn't really buying the movie moments, but sometimes I just keep thinking about it. Things happen that you just can't explain. So someone needs to tell me what this is if there isn't an underlying energy of some sort that intervenes. So one of the other conversations we had on our 2-hour flight was about hypothermia. So I've touched on this before, but basically my brain works in a way that it can remember dates, which sounds great, but it's actually just autobiographical dates. So it's not, look, I can't get a degree in history or anything. It'd be great if I could. But one of the traits of it is that I can remember everyone's birthday. Everyone stands on a circle. It's a really long story. I'm not even going on to it, but basically that's it. I just remember everyone's birthday. Or if I've read it somewhere, it also sinks in. So we were talking about this and he was like, well, it is fascinating, but how do I know? How do I know you're telling the truth? You could say any date and anything's happened to you in the past. And I was like, well, I do know some celebrities, so try me. Simon Cowell, he said, 7th of October. Prince Charles, 14th of November. And at this point, like, my heart is in my mouth now because I'm thinking, what are the chances he's actually going to ask me people that I know? David Beckham, 2nd of May. Is that luck? Is that luck that he asked me 3 well-known people that I actually knew the answers to? Or what? He could have picked from thousands and thousands of people, and hands up, I don't know everyone's birthday in the world, but the 3 that he said, I did know. So, yeah, he was still sceptical as his phone was in airplane mode, and so he couldn't verify whether I was right or wrong. But here comes the next movie moment. The very next day, you better believe we bumped into him and his friends walking along Palma Marina. So he didn't see me at first. I noticed them and I just stood still and let him walk into me. And he said, oh my gosh, Simon Cowell, Prince Charles, David Beckham. And I was like, I know. I was telling the truth. And his friends were like, you're the girl. They said, whatever you talked about yesterday, you have blown his mind. So what is that if that's not law of attraction? All those catalogue of events that he asks me the names that I knew, that we bump into each other the next day. Oh, it's just all so weird. How do the right people turn up at the right time? I find it bizarre. Right, so day 22 is Before Your Very Eyes. The quote goes, this world, after all our science and sciences, is still a miracle. Wonderful, inscrutable, magical, and more to whosoever will think of it. And that's by Thomas Carlyle. So a lot of this chapter is about Rhonda's personal story about her desire list and how over time each one has come true. So she is saying, I've shared this story as an inspiration for you because no matter how big your desires seem to be, you can receive them through gratitude. What I've realised though throughout these weeks is looking at my top 10 list is they are quite humble. Is that the word? Cautious, small. I don't know what the word is. I could have dreamed bigger. Let's put it that way. And I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to relook at my list and amplify them. I'm quite easily pleased and I never really ask for much. So I guess my list has reflected that way of thinking. At work the other day, we have a stand-up every morning, which I'm sure lots of you do now too in this agile world we live in. And before we give our updates, we have a question of the day to answer. And on this particular day, it was, if money were no option, what luxury item would you buy? So I was up first. I hate being first. And I said a hot tub. That would be nice to have. And I don't have one. So by the time it went round the rest of the call, got to my boss and he said, I would have my own island. I'd live this perfect existence and we'll eat all this amazing food. And he went on describing about what this island would be like. And he was properly dreaming big. And what had I said? A hot tub. It just dawned on me that I don't dream big, and so from now on, I need to aim higher. So she says, so now is your turn. At the start of the day, take your top 10 desire list that you created and read through each sentence and desire on your list, and for 1 minute, imagine or visualise that you have received your desire. So she then says, carry your list with you, basically in your pocket, and read it every so often, but also always carry it with you. And then as you achieve them, you cross them off and add new ones on. It's funny because if you have the book in front of you, you will see that Rhonda's story is all about Bora Bora, and the boss that I've just mentioned is actually in Bora Bora as we speak, and I'm in Devon. So another penny is dropped there. What does that tell you? If that doesn't inspire me to zhuzh up my list, then nothing will. So let's recap the day. Magic practice 22. Count your blessings, make a list of 10. At the start of the day, take your top 10 desire list that you created. Read through each sentence and desire on your list for 1 minute, imagining that you have received your desire. Carry your list with you and read it as many times as you can throughout the day. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that's happened during the day. And mine is that I did actually get invited into the yacht club by the Commodore as I walked past for a gin. So maybe it's that. See you later.